Yes. The Christmas lights were that was a major undertaking for us. The downtown merchants and the association raised over $10,000 for the lighting. But it was a little bit more expensive than we had anticipated. We want to get the lights completely paid for so we can go on to other projects. And doing this, we are having fundraisers. One of the fundraisers right now is the I Love Center button, which is overpriced. It's $3. But the proceeds of this goes to the Christmas lighting. We are also, when you buy a button for $3, you will also get a free barbecue lunch March the 9th, the day that Ms. Clements is coming to town. We are serving the lunches from 12 until 3. And this is our way for Main Street and for the DNA to show our appreciation for the support we have had for Main Street and for the Christmas lighting. And it's just a big thank you to everyone. But you have to have your button to do this. And like I said, the proceeds will go to
silk blouses are out that day, Ms. Clements.
Well, you can absolutely send them anywhere. You can go to your baseball cap. That's right.
But when you get the buttons, I'm sure at any merchant down there.
Yes, it is. The downtown merchants, the financial institutions are selling them, and we will make it easy for you to find a button somewhere. We have over 1,000 buttons to sell.
Charlene, it's just really good to have you in Center. Where did you move from?
Austin,
Texas. Well, you're still there?
That is the headquarters of the Main Street program in Texas.
Have you worked with Main Street?
No, I have not. I've been in retail management.
Okay. So you're aware of the problems with retailing and that sort of thing?
Large mall.
Okay, the question that we were going to ask you, we talked about earlier, is why do we want to revitalize just the downtown area? Is it going to benefit just the downtown area?
It should benefit the entire community. You have to have a vital downtown area so that you can continue with your revenues and make other businesses want to come downtown.
You know, a lot of the larger cities who have lost their downtown lose a lot of revenue. You know, you tend to not always go out to the shopping centers. All your merchants seem to, you lose a lot of things. Our downtown has really, over the years, has done much better than a lot of small towns.
Oh, definitely. We have very few vacancies. You have a good tenant mix right now, which is a variety of different shopping alternatives for the consumer. Normally that is in the beginning when the strip mall was built way out of the town. That's when the downtown area slip covered their buildings. What we want to do now is remove those and get back to the unique character of each building in every community.
I know you're staying real busy. Why don't you tell us some of the things that you're doing?
Right now we're working on the promotions, the kickoff, which is Rita Clements coming March 9th, and that will be the kickoff of our Main Street Programming Center, the unveiling of the building. It is now still a secret. And we're just really trying to get the downtown area cleaned up so that we do look like we have a lot of pride. And I feel Center does, but there are some areas that need to be cleaned up, and this is a good opportunity to do that.
Okay, you say the unveiling of the building.
Yes, that will be the rendering of the building that has been chosen by the architect at Ryan.
The first one is going to be done.
The first one that will be done. Mm-hmm.
All right, now this is going to be March the 9th.
March the 9th. She will be, her plane will arrive at 2:30. She will be here 1 hour. She will be visiting 2 other cities prior to coming to Center. We will be the last one. So ours will be a very festive, exciting event. We have some things planned. So we're hoping everyone will show up. We're mailing out 1,000 invitations for that event.
Oh, sounds great. So it's going to be just a downtown festival thing.
Wonderful.
But back to the thing that you mentioned, the cleanup. You started on that yesterday?
Yes.
Of course, I know probably even before that, but yesterday was the big event. Wayne, did you get out and rake your yard?
We cut all the limbs off and hires. It looks like a brush.
We have a weekend.
That's right. I know that. That's fun, guys.
You can do that this afternoon.
No, not on Sunday.
Oh,
we are a religious
Sunday. Tomorrow afternoon,
that's right.
Get out there with your rest.
But you did start downtown yesterday?
Yes, we had requested volunteers yesterday, and we had approximately 8 people to come with breaks, and I made a mistake of bringing a shovel. But what we did, it looks good, but it was just not enough. So we are going to work a little bit more for the next week or so.
But what about the courthouse lawn? I've read in the paper they're starting to do this and starting to do that. Is that going to...
They're out there working right now.
They're out there right now.
I can think of nothing that would really super do that.
We need to go and see what they've done with beautiful.
Yeah, it's just marvelous.
Okay, say you got somebody out here, Suzanne, that couldn't come yesterday, and they don't have a full day, but they've got a couple of hours. What should they do? Who should they contact to find out what they need to do?
They can either contact Charlene or they can contact me at the fashion.
Okay. Your office is at the Chamber of Commerce? Okay. All right, so if you have some time this week, Wayne, in your spare time.
Much needed, and we want the homeowners throughout the community, the business owners, next week will be doing things at their stores, like their windows, really getting things nice, clean, and free for her.
Are the garbage folks going to pick up bigger things this week, like they kind of do once a year at the lawn cleanup thing, or we got to drag off all our limbs?
Well, we might.
We should try for that and make provisions.
I'm sure that Jeff is happy with that.
I'm sure he is, and I'm sure he is listening.
He's probably
And I'm sure he's been able to call me. He'll have to wait till tomorrow.
But that is a good idea, because if everybody's got clean
It's
up.
just a great opportunity. It's spring, after all winter time, ugly shrubs and trees and limbs, it's just time to clean up for spring, and now's just a good opportunity to do it. And that just will include everyone.
Well, when you talk about including everyone, Charlene mentioned earlier that Kimberly has recruited some of her friends.
Yes.
And they're going to be doing some things. Do you have plans what you're going to be doing, Kim?
We're sweeping the sidewalks today.
Okay, so that just gives you an idea of what can be done. Anything else that you can think of in particular? You might give somebody an idea that sits there and thinks, well, I really couldn't do anything.
There's a lot of debris, trash, cups, Coke cans, those types of things in and around the square and on our little side streets that really need to be picked up. I think Kimberly's going to work with that today also. I'm going to give her a map. But that needs to be continually picked up for the next, forever, hopefully, but definitely for the next couple of weeks, so that if we pick it up today and we still have a week and a half to go, we're not going to come out and see that again on Wednesday.
And we also will need a group that will, we're having election day, the day before she comes, and we want to be very careful that the things that we have done are not undone. So we will probably need a group of people that would be willing and volunteers to come and be sure that things were clean, like early on Wednesday morning.
What area, this is kind of stuff done, but what are we going to do with Ms. Clemens for an hour? Can you give us a preview of kind of what's going to be going on?
Several of us will be meeting her at the airport. She will be coming in. She has to ride in a CPS car to the center of town. The school band is going to be playing at the courthouse lawn. We're going to have several dignitaries in town. We have invited several mayors from the surrounding area. And we will have Curtis Tunnell, who is with the Texas Historical Commission, with her. Anna Reed, who is the director of the Main Street Project, will be with her. We will be doing a walking tour of the downtown area so that the merchants can meet with her, and there will be a reception at the Farmers State Bank. But because she will be here only an hour, we're just not going to have a lot of time. We do have the nursing homes in town coming in on their floats so that they can be part of it, and several of the other groups that will be downtown. So hopefully it'll be an exciting day, and we've got 1,000 balloons that are going to be coming up into the sky, up and away to the center, and there's several activities planned for it, but it is only 1 hour. Don't laugh, Wayne, that is not nice about me.
You talk so matter-of-factly, like the nursing home people are coming in on their floats, and just on a float, they're driving on their floats, just drift in on a float.
They are arriving. I don't know how they come here, but that was
but
not my choice.
They are. Got to make a float, and that is major. They're coming in the float.
But that's true.
Yeah.
I thought that they might have them
So we're
left
having a parade?
Well, they plan those like for the parade,
That's
so
right.
they kind of have an idea of what they need to do.
Right.
They've had some very clever ones.
We're not having a parade.
But we're having floats.
Right. We wanted them to be able to take part. So that is instead of bringing large buses, they can come on their floats that are all decorated. That will be part of it. And you're just being so ugly. I can't believe this. You will never get me on this program like this.
That'll be worse coming to town.
We do hope you'll be in
Poor old people coming to town, they don't float.
Be sure in a avoid Wayne's section of town.
We are. We are going to avoid it from now on. We do not know
And all the work that Lisa's done with this, you know, and now Wayne is going to have her opportunity.
That's awful. I tell you.
Okay.
No, we do want to encourage people when they come for the barbecue, and we want them to have these buttons.
We're having a
on.
barbecue. I'm finding out what's coming on with this thing. Y'all
If you
told me that
listened
it's food.
earlier, so the old man would have heard this. Yes, it is. She told you. If you wore your buttons, a free barbecue the day of Rita's Women's Pride.
Free food. You're getting free
Yes,
food.
from
Now,
12 to 3.
That's major.
Each of you has a button, and we want you to have your button on so she can tell that we love Center and that we have enthusiasm and excitement about Center. So that's the main thing about the buttons. We want to encourage everyone when they come for lunch to stay. We want a crowd there.
All right, say I come for lunch that day, Suzanne, I haven't bought my button, I want to get one. Are you going to have the buttons there?
Yes, we will.
Sure you have enough?
Yes. Well, no, I can tell you this.
And we have ran out.
First, we have around 800 plates, and first come, first serve on the barbecue, and we have 1,000 buttons. So everyone would just have to, and it would be better plan ahead. It really would.
Okay, so lunch will be that day, and
Yes.
Day
I've just
is
heard a catch on the food.
well, here
We
then.
forgot something. I took one of those sales here. I was like, 39 We're sold out.
That's
No,
what
we
you're
got this.
Free wine. We're talking about, we're having our merchants, the ones who don't eat barbecue are going to go in the drugstore or in the wherever, and they're going to eat there. So it's going to promote this.
Sounds good to me.
So buy your buttons, the first 800 to eat are planning.
Don't get my hopes up for barbecue sandwich, right?
Barbecue chicken.
Barbecue chicken.
All those chicken, which were definitely, that's our county bird.
I may say, yeah.
But that sounds like a lot of fun. That's a short period of time to have it, really, it is. And I think there's going to be a lot of concentrated moving. Do the businesses know which ones you're going to carry Mrs. Clements to?
She will go to all of the businesses on the square.
Okay. Around these
Around the
squares.
square, yes. That's it. All the time we'll have.
And that's going to be a pretty fast.
That'll be very
Everywhere
fast.
business on the square?
She will just greet the owners at the door.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But that would be neat. And for the elderly to be there in town. I think that's really great that you've included them.
They're a very, very important part of our community, and they do need to be included.
Because they contributed to our past, and that's what we're trying to promote. So that's really neat.
That's why we're saying that Main Street is not just for downtown.
Because it's going to benefit all the outlying areas. I noticed a new building on one of the vacant lots makes it look very nice. I don't know if that y'all have done that as part of it to make it look nice, and, you know, not to have the vacant building. The Santo building was earlier.
We had that donated to this project so that we did not have a vacant lot, and we do have some of the nurseries and florists in town that will put some shrubbery out there the day of the event.
It looks very nice. You know,
Well, better than just an empty lot, we felt.
And the lot will be cleaned and prepared for that day.
Okay, I have a building downtown area, okay? I want to participate in the downtown project. What's in it for me, okay? What is the deal? What's the project? I know the project is to fix the town and all this, and it's a beautiful idea, but what happens? I know we'll be able to see this over time as we redo one building at a time. Can you kind of give us a preview of what would happen if I'm a businessman, I have a building, and all of a sudden I want to participate?
You know what the benefit is to you? One of the encouraging factors that we feel with Main Street is historic preservation of your building, reinvestment dollars to your building. If your building needs to be renovated or preserved, it needs to be done so that it doesn't deteriorate. A lot of the mortar joints and things like that need to be repointed because moisture seeps in, you have leaks on your roofs, things like that that will damage a building. And if they're not repaired, can cause a great amount of financial devastation to a building owner. So one of the reasons that Main Street does want you to reinvest your money into your building is to prepare to keep that building for your future generations that will be here.
Okay. But you got to reinvest my money now. I'm businessman, okay? Where is my money? You know, if I don't have the money, I mean, if I could fix my building up, but I done it last week, you know, whatever, you know, supposedly. What's the advantage of this Main Street project as far as financial support?
All right, your financial institutions hopefully will be doing a low-interest loan pool. It has not been done yet, but it will be done hopefully soon in Center. And it will, hopefully, they will have a total amount that can be spent on the facade, the outside of the building. with a low interest to the building owner for that work. That has not been checked to the state, but hopefully it will be done in the
We have been submitted, I think we had part of our, when we submitted our application.
When your
that was one of the
application
things
is
that the financial
submitted, there is a
institution-
commitment there, but that just has not been, right. The woman, Anna Reeves, the director of the program, had planned a month ago to come down, but she was caught in a snowstorm and did not come, so it'll be the latter part of March.
Okay,
before she
in
comes.
order to qualify for these low-interest loans, will my repair work, who does it have to be approved by Main Street
Well,
Project?
we do
and
have a
what we
design
do?
committee, and it's not necessary, part of it would have to be approved, but of course it's the financial institutions that will make those decisions. Main Street does have a design committee that will help a building owner with some of the things that they can do as far as color and...
What about this architect? Does he come in on each building?
Yes, he is involved in every building and does a rendering of each building so the building owner could see different ways that he could possibly go. The most important thing is the owner's needs and wants for his building. So a lot of buildings just might need to be cleaned, might just need to be painted, not, total renovation of the building. There's several buildings here in Center that might just need to be power cleaned, and that's all, and make a difference. Transom windows replaced, or the wood that's covering the transom window now removed so the transom window is in existence. So there's not necessarily every building is going to cost a great amount of money.
I had not thought about that, him having a choice. I just suppose, this is the way it's supposed to look, and this is what it's supposed to look, so that's good.
Very much up to what the building owner needs and wants, and several times it could be just signage that is necessary to do the building, and he will do a rendering of that.
Over the years, what, has happened with a lot of other places is you combine the 1930s architectural construction with new development that came along in the 50s with a new type of window, a door that came along in the 60s with a new type, and all of a sudden you got this conglomeration of all different eras of the world in the building. How does Main Street approach those types of things?
Main Street really tries to go back to the original architectural style of the building, depending on the financial commitment from the owner. If the owner does not want to do that, that, is fine, but it is something that is strongly recommended. A lot of times you will find existing windows and doors in their attics, or that have been covered with metal. There's a few buildings here in town that have the original doors, but probably in the 50s were covered with metal. That metal can be removed, and the door could be, refinished, and it would be fine. But you're right, there's, especially on the storefront windows, there's usually a lot of change maybe in the entrances of the buildings. That it's recommended that go back, but if it's costly and the owner doesn't want to do that, it's just a suggestion made by Main Street. But we do want to go back to the historical architecture.
Now, are there any plans, like the DNA might have in conjunction with this, about common things that will happen, like street lights, sidewalks redone, anything like that would be a common goal of the entire square rather than individual buildings?
Definitely. We have a beautification committee, which is a subcommittee of Main Street, and that will be their project. We will hope to apply for a grant and to do sidewalks, street lamps, to really give it an ocean look.
Suzanne, you made a lot of visits when we were working on Main Street. Did the towns that you visit say they got a lot of people coming through? Because
Yes, they do.
we have some, like the courthouse, we already have it, such a tourist attraction. I'm sure that this would really benefit pulling people that would not ordinarily have it here.
They were saying too, something that really made an impression on me, that the downtown area is now being treated as an industry within itself, which creates jobs, all the things that go with industry. So I thought that was a very important part when you were asking a minute ago, what Main Street, will do, because when you have a strong downtown, then you have a stronger industry to add to center, to develop better in center.
The analysis we had a while back, the fellow that came from ADM or whatever he did
survey.
Right. Isn't one of the major problems that we have in center just that a lot of our people go shopping elsewhere?
Yes, that is.
And isn't that part of the idea behind Main Street?
Right. To keep your shoppers at home and utilizing their downtown.
Right. So that's...
She really will work with us like on promotions and things. She will work with the merchants.
Design, the window display.
You will?
Yes, I will. A normal merchant in retail has 2 seconds to get that customer who's walking by in their store. If your window displays are not attractive, your windows aren't clean, simple things that we think of every day but maybe don't practice, that customer will continue to walk. Your window display is your most valued asset.
Okay, that brings a whole new subject up. What do you do for a living? Okay,
I do everything and anything. I think of Main Street or downtown center as a large mall to get good tenant mix, to have attractive buildings, to have good displays. Just the whole thing that a normal mall manager would do, I think of Main Street.
Okay, so you are a planner, a director in your mind if the business people will allow you.
That's right.
That's the big
That's
thing.
right. And so a lot of it is a PR, public relations, getting out to the community, going out and talking about Main Street, meeting with them one-on-one.
All right, the DMA may come in and say, do you think we've educated to the proper extent our local business people as to what is available through Charlene?
We are working on that, and we are trying to stress the fact that we do have resources now more than we have ever had. This is our great opportunity.
You haven't told me.
This is our opportunity.
Here I am. I'm close.
Well, one of our
Are y'all trying to leave me out?
Yes, we are definitely from now on leaving you out. One of the major things that we have been doing with Main Street now is to kick off the Rita Clemens. After March 9th, we will be taking different direction because our intensity and our kickoff is just so important right now to show Austin that we have a wonderful community, that we were chosen for all the right reasons. And as soon as that's over, we will be doing a lot of other things. But right now, we have committee after committee working on...
What kind of thing would you be able to do for me if I had a store downtown, and what would you do?
Depending on what type of store and what are you doing with it now?
Very little.
Okay. You have dirty windows. I mean,
no, I have. There's some people in town, by the way, and I don't even know who they are, they come around once every 2 weeks and clean windows. Did y'all know that? And it's a new thing. It's very good service. Yes. And
well, that's wonderful. That should be utilized.
It's unbelievable how dirty your windows are. It's embarrassing what they clean.
I've been hearing a lot of that, Charlene. All your committees. Do you know how many subcommittees that Main Street USA has at this time? Main Street Center has at this time?
How many subcommittees we have? We have 8 right now.
With a total of how many members?
Oh, right. Let's see. We have just added another committee, which is 9 now. Well, we have 13 or 14 Main Street advisories. The committee for Main Street. Each one of those heads a subcommittee to bring in other people from the community so that it's not just 14 people. We want a lot of involvement from our community, so we have done subcommittees. And right now,
I think there are approximately 50.
At least 50, and our list is growing. We did advertise for volunteers. We have gotten tremendous response to that. And each chairman of their subcommittee could pick or, get volunteers through that.
What are the names of some of the subcommittees? I'm just trying to think what different areas.
Okay, we have historical, economic development, beautification. We have a First Ladies committee that is just, temporary. We have the design, which the architect will meet with them so that they can make some choices of what they want to see done on their committee. We have publicity. We have ways and means. We have availability, which is letting us know what is available on the square, primarily to attract new business, so that if someone does come in, and we have had that. I've had several people come into center and want to know what's available on the square.
Let me ask you this. If I'm a business person on the square and center, and, I'm having a hard time getting things going anyhow, and I just can't see how it's possible that I can fit this remodeling bill in each month. Is there a way that financially someone can meet with that person, look over what's going on if that person desires, and see how, from a historical perspective, that improving the look of the building will draw in more customers potentially from historical fact and blah, blah. Is there any way that that's approached?
Yes, I think there's enough resource from prior Main Street projects that could be handled through Austin and our architect. Dick Ryan is the architect for the historical Main Street project in Texas and has probably dealt with that problem or ideas of those possible problems quite a bit. I have not. So we just feel very strongly that if you have a an attractive building and you have got some, if you're having problems in marketing or promotion or displaying, we can go in and we can help you. And if you have an attractive business, if you have good people working for you, a lot of times you can have all of the assets of good retail, but if you don't have a smiley, cheerful employee, you might not be attracting the customer.
Now, if we start laying people off around the square,
No. What we do is we train them.
Oh.
You know, there's training available.
You're going to, all right, there's training available through the program?
Sure. To the DNA and myself and the Main Street Project, I mean, there's several, I'm sure, very successful businesses on the square. You can get those people, find out what they're doing, why they're so successful. And you can hold seminars.
Okay, and this is part of the downtown project, okay?
Yes, this is part of Main
Oh, that is
Street.
very good.
Anything that we need done, we have resources to get.
Okay.
Probably. Right, that probably real quick. Did you catch that?
Yeah. You know,
Well, when you find the need, then you're going to start trying to fill
That's
that
right.
need.
Uh-huh.
And see if that's what you need. Okay, we've talked about a lot of things. Have we missed anything? One thing I want to point out, Suzanne, I'm just going to have a little time march tonight, but I want to be here when they name the building. What, is that going to be during the time Ms. Clements is here?
Yes,
At the end, beginning?
Yes,
Okay.
it'll probably approximately between 2:45 and 3.
Okay, so if someone just had a short period of time, they could be in town and they wanted to be there, that would be the time to be there. Of course, you wouldn't want them to be there because you want to come for lunch, breakfast, and
So
stuff.
we would want a lot of people. We
get there
do want
early
a
for the
crowd.
barbecue.
And it's
Right.
busy, yes, be one of the first
The
stations.
barbecue from 12 to 3. So that gives everyone an
Being
opportunity.
very optimistic.
And this is going to be here from what time?
From 2:30 to 3:30.
Okay.
It sounds like
Arriving
really
at the
great.
square approximately at 2:40.
With all the committees and everything, it sounds like we've got a lot of people involved in Main Street.
And very
Good.
supportive.
On economic development, you know, I think that's the one thing that most everybody agrees on, of the fact that we need more business in Center, Shelby County, whatever. Is Main Street going to be involved in promotion of getting new businesses to come to our
I
area?
am on the Economic Development Committee, and we have met. In fact, we have also had a prospecting center.
Okay.
So
So, y'all,
that will be a part of
That's a
Main
part of
Street
Main
Project.
okay, you know, and so I think right there you hatched the fact that if we can bring more business in, we've provided jobs, provided more money coming into the county, and Main Street at that point doesn't just benefit downtown Center.
Exactly.
Yeah, more business.
And to attract outside industry and outside business, they want a nice downtown. They have families. They have wives. They really do look at your downtown. So Main Street is very vital for attracting new businesses.
Can you imagine what it would be like for them to come into the downtown area of the town as a prospect, and the downtown is dirty, empty buildings? I just cannot see that attracting anything for Shelby County.
There was a downtown, and I cannot mention the name, that had a marvelous opportunity to get a very large industry. And their Economic Development Committee took them everywhere and spent a wonderful couple of hours with this business. And they got a letter back, and they thought for sure they would get it, and they got a letter back that they were not going to make this move. And the head of their Economic Development Committee called and asked why. And the reason was, you never took us to your downtown. Are you ashamed of it? And they had made another decision. And that was just devastating to the economic development of that community.
Okay, what do I, as somebody that's not a merchant downtown, okay? In that respect, I can see how it would help, and, you know, logically, but how do we express what downtown project is going to do for, Main Street project is going to do for somebody that lives outside of downtown Center? What do we afford? You know, am I sitting here saying, hey, golly, all this tax dollar and all this kind of stuff that's helping support this project, and it's not doing a thing for me? Here I am sitting out here 4 blocks from town, and I'm not getting anything for it.
Well, I don't think that that's... Well, I imagine that there are people that do think that. But I think if you can come into your town and you've got a nice town and you're proud of your town, and you have company coming in or whatever, and you can go to your downtown shopping area, whether it's eat lunch or just walk near the courthouse square, I think that shows pride. You're not having to get in your car and go outside of your community to shop. And I think that's vital. And I think even if you live off or even several miles away, that you have to be have pride in your downtown area, and that will benefit you. More money will be spent in your community.
Well, you know, for his tourists, the track,
You
you
should-
get the economic
exactly.
development,
Mhm.
property values are going to go up.
That's right.
And that's going to be,
That'll be-
That will just bring people in, they will need homes. So
it's going to benefit, you know, a lot of things besides, you know, it'll be outlying in all areas. So it really sounds great, you know, and I don't really think, I think Wayne has been trying to.
He's just been ugly. That's right. He just wants me to sing this morning, and it's too early. Blisters on my
Hey, we don't allow
hand.
thinking on this show.
But I think it does, I think it will benefit the entire county when Main Street comes in and the town, and especially as active as this community is in support of it. I think
Do you
it's
have
very
any
simple.
involvement, interest, questions coming from outside of Center, like many of the surrounding towns, as far as any relationship to this program?
No, only, well, every time I've gone to Nacogdoches and they know who I am, or I'm, you know, just in stores, they're very excited about our program. Nacogdoches had applied for Main Street and did not get it. So they're very excited and, you know, wishing us the best. And so that is the only, you know, comments I've heard, nothing other than that.
Well, we're
That's
really
one
excited.
just
We
a nice
appreciate
town.
it.
If I'd lost, I'd be spooked
Yes.
up.
Well, they didn't lose it recently, I don't believe. I mean,
It was not this year.
It was not this year.
They were turned down,
Yeah. You know, we have
which
such...
made us a little bit more.
I know that.
We're
Yeah.
proud, yeah, I think we're able to.
How many of the downtown Main Street projects are there in Texas? I mean, how privileged are we to get this opportunity?
Well, right now, we have probably 44 within the state that are active. You can be self-initiated or you can be chosen. Self-initiated is a town that likes the project and goes ahead without being accepted and does it on their own.
I thought of a question.
Uh-oh, here we go.
The agriculture man was speaking at the Lions Club this week, and he said something about, somebody asked him, said, what would it take to get a farmer's market? Okay? And he said that was directly related to the Main Street project.
Right. Now, the DMA did a little farmer's market last year, and we are working on getting a large one started for this coming summer.
Okay.
After March 9th, we will be working, that will be our energy, will be spent on the farmer's market.
What is a farmer's market?
It is allowing the farmers to come in and sell their produce around the square or wherever you can, but it benefits the community. It gives the farmer a chance to make some money, hopefully to increase his revenue where he will spend it in the community. Farmers market is a wonderful, wonderful thing that's going on in Texas.
And so we are going to be investigating having that.
Oh, we are having one.
Definitely,
Yes.
it's a definite.
Even if Suzanne and I are growing our vegetables and we're the farmers, we will have a farmer's market.
Whatever it takes.
Yes.
Suzanne, you had enough trouble growing grass.
Maybe not better luck with tomatoes.
That may be your cup of tea, that's why.
I will not give up.
That, I think, was our stand with Main Street. Nobody ever gave up. Everybody kept working. You know, I think we need to work. Thanks, Suzanne. You want to mention some of the people who worked with you getting the Main Street going? I know y'all did a lot, and this is putting you on the spot, probably naming some of them. But I know Lisa made some trips with you. But are there any others that you'd like to mention? Because I've seen a lot of
We
work.
really did. There were so many, though, that did go and did so many things. Kathy Thomas, who is our president of our Chamber of Commerce, was the main one that worked on this application. And we had several people on that did different parts that applied to whatever they were doing. Like my part was just, Downtown Merchants Association. I know... I'm afraid I know.
That's fine.
That I will not
want to
include
thank everybody right now because they did a tremendous job, took off from their work.
And there were so many people. See, we had over 200 letters of citizens and people that wrote letters to, endorse the Main Street project. And all those letters were turned in and sent with the application. And that pulled a lot of weight. And those just anybody and everybody in the community.
Well, the first one we mentioned, the financial institutions, I think they all made the statement that they were willing to make the low-interest loans or whatever, And then the Citibank, it's just really a united front, which is what I think part of the reason we were able to
And Center did have one of the best applications they'd ever received.
Great. That makes it
So that's,
And I'll say
that is
something
very,
Mary
very
was
proud
someone
of.
that we really needed to give credit for that. Mary Haley was excellent.
Mary has done a wonderful job helping
Mm-hmm.
with the entire Shelby County, because Mary at the Chamber works with Shelby County. And
We might name our board, our Main Street board.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Let's see. Fred Wolf is our chairman. Jeff Ellington, Suzanne Owens, Kathy Thomas, Barbara Smith, David Chadwick, John D. Linden, Lisa Christian. Sandra Bowles was just nominated or asked to join. Francis Oates, thank you. Myself. I have to go around the table. Mary Haley. And if I forgot anyone.
If we have, we're very sorry. But we didn't think about that, getting the money together, but you do appreciate those people.
Oh, they're wonderful. Yes. Yes. And it's very active, and it's a good committee. So that's exciting. That's what makes it work.
Well, we really appreciate y'all coming and talking to us about Main Street, Center, Texas this morning.
I love Center.
That you don't have your button, get your button.
I do have mine.
Yes, you wear.
When is this limit coming to town?
March 9th.
9th. That's a what day of the week?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday, March the 9th.
Do you know what Tuesday is?
That's the day before Wednesday.
And what is it? Super
Election
what?
Day.
Is that Super Tuesday?
I'm not. Someone knows. And the next day you come to town and you get free barbecue for the first 800 folks to get there.
And everybody.
Everybody has the time that morning, come down and make sure all the debris is clear.
That's
right.
Yes, I'm volunteer for that.
And the nursing home people are coming to town as well.
I would want everyone having all those little
We're not having a
all those
parade.
floats picking up the cans and stuff to shake their way.
There won't be a parade, but we're having folks. And that's worth the trip to me.
Sounds like a lot of fun, and we appreciate y'all coming.
It's a real exciting time in Center right now.
It really is. We're real excited about it. Thank you for all your work. Kim, we're glad you came and made us look real pretty this morning. And thank you for going out and cleaning and getting your friends. Maybe we'll get some more young people involved. We're glad you joined us this morning as we've been talking about Main Street, and hope that you'll contribute your time and energies this week. If there's some time that you can donate to help clean up. Now stay tuned for our men's Bible class and afterwards for our church services. Wayne and I think we'll be back next week. Bye-bye.